So I am in conversation with our own Dr. Mensa Otabil. We're discussing wisdom at the hem of affair, and so far, so good. So, Doc, what are the key competencies? So I want to go back to pioneering things. You have an idea, like you have explained, but your environment, probably you might be the first person that wants to push that. There might be challenges to that. Do we have an example within? I know your contemporaries and yourself pioneered movements like the charismatic movement that were quite new at the time. You were called different names. People didn't give you guys the chance to be where you are. But I believe the same skills, the same hunger, the same drive with which you guys pioneered the charismatic movement could be the same to pioneer other things. So in your personal life, being a pioneer, for instance, in private university sector, Central is something you pioneered from the beginning. I mean, between Central and I think Valley View. He first private universities. When we move into the charismatic sector, then you are the first person to pioneer a university. What were the challenges that you faced, and what are the competencies that you thought were very useful for you as a pioneer?
Well, in the first place, and that's part of what I was talking about, where the nation itself cannot conceptualize a private university because universities were state-operated entities. So if you want to start a private university, you can assemble a team. That's the least of your job. If you're pioneering it, it means that the space for you to operate in doesn't exist. And if it doesn't exist, then you have to have other activities you are embarking on. In our case, we had to have a lot of advocacy, working with, at that time, NITE's GTech Accreditation Board, working with Ministry of Education, even trying to convince state actors that it is possible for a private university. And still, you know, the country, our nation doesn't understand the concept of private in the university or in anything, because Ghana is a state-run entity. The state does everything. The state solves every problem. And so the state doesn't give space for private people to function at all levels. And that's why businesses struggle in Ghana, because fortunately or unfortunately, our first prime minister and president, Kwame Nkrumah, decided to philosophically build Ghana as a state-run entity. And we haven't been able to break away from it. So anybody who wants to do anything private in Ghana comes against a lot of resistance. Whereas if you go to other countries which started as a private sector driven entity, setting up businesses, operating them is facilitated by the general environment it operates in. So if you're going to do anything that is pioneering, the path, you have to clear it. You know, I sometimes I liken it to if you are going upstairs, like the people who go upstairs on this building, they came to meet a staircase. The staircase was there because you were here to build the staircase. But if they wanted to go upstairs and they were first to go upstairs, then they have to build the staircase in order to propel themselves upstairs. And that's what it takes to pioneer. You have to build the staircase that takes you to where you are. Whereas in other countries, the staircase has been built and you just learn to use it. Pioneering anything in Ghana, and in most African countries, whether it's church or anything else, requires the ability to build infrastructure to support what you're doing.
Amazing. So